Thank you, JC. Kasama nga natin ang isang napaka-controversial na tao. No? He creates controversies pero for a worthy cause.
You know, well, yeah, I don't know if it's considered controversial. Pero...
but welcome. Welcome to Hatol ng Bayan.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm loving the new PTV4 look and everything. Everything's looking very, very up to date and sassy.
It will get better. Just watch us. Anyway, ito nga, we're doing the elections now. Ano? In terms of what has happened kaninang umaga and now, how do you view itong elections? Ano yung assessment mo?
I'm actually I'm not a young man, so I've seen actually elections in the past, and I've seen much worse. I mean, this is, there are some flaws, and there are some incidences of unsavory incidents, but if ever we're going to look at the flaw, I think the flaw is really a larger problem, because we keep going through these same problems anymore. I mean, if we keep going through these same problems that we have, who to vote for, the system that we're voting about, maybe it's time for us to think about changing the system to parliamentary. You know, I mean, today, I have to say, when I was doing my votes, I couldn't fill all 12. Did you fill all 12? I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who did not fill all 12, right?
Yes.
So why are we having to stick with a system where the last 4 people or the last 6 people will be people that we just have to remember or we recognize the name or kung sino-sino lang just to make sure that we get to 12? So it makes you wonder how many votes went to people na panakibutas lang.
Ano yung naging gabay mo sa pagpili ng mga binoto mo ngayon?
My issues this year were RH, always and will be RH. The environment and also charter change for parliamentary system and removal of the 60-40 foreign investment limitation. Though if you're not for charter change, you probably will not get for my vote.
Bakit gusto mo mag-charter change? Panahon na ba ngayon?
I think, well, now with the president's a very high popularity rating, we can see that he does not have any sort of agenda if he's trying to push for the changing of the system. More importantly, we have to start thinking of what system suits Filipinos best. And I don't think the presidential been working for us for a very long time. It has a lot to do with popularity ng isang individual. Name recall lang. Kung showbiz, pwede kang manalo. We don't talk about issues. We talk about individuals. At mali yun, you know. Kung parliamentary, you vote for the party at saka yung issue. At sila na lang ang bahala sa papimili ng head of that party. Right?
So palagay mo kapag itong pinalitan natin yung sistema, marami ang magbabago in terms of, for example, matatanggal ba yung corruption? Mawawala ba yung mga political dynasty? Yung iba mga issues na mahalaga sa ating buhay?
I wouldn't say mawawala, pero mababawas. For sure. I mean, there's always a way to twist on something. Pero yung pagka-dynasty yun, dahil sa name recall lang yan. If we do parliamentary system, yung mga tao na hindi masyadong, hindi masyadong popular, they have a chance of rising up within yung party nila mismo because yung mga tao sa party mismo ang mapipili ng leader nila. Hindi yung buong bayan. Yung buong bayan ay bumoboto para sa mga issues at yung party lamang. Hindi kailangan natin memoryado ng 12 names or 14 names at mapipili yung mga kung sino-sino lang. We will only vote for kung gusto natin ng konserbatibo na gobernamento, green na gobernamento, liberal, or mga
pero marami sa mga ating politiko nangangako na ito ang gagawin, yun ang gagawin. Pero pagka nakaupo na, walang nangyayari.
Exactly like that because you don't have a party na talagang solid yung foundation ng mga issues nila. Kung pinapalit yung presidente, kung pinapalit yung head, yung buong programa napapalitan din. So there's no consistency. With the parliamentary system, there's more of a consistency sa mga programa. At yun ang dahilan.
Ngayon, nakita natin merong mga tumatakbong pare pa rin, ano?
Ay, nako.
Ano masasabi mo? Ilang yung tumatakbo ngayon. What do you think about that?
Well, this is a democracy. So it is perfectly fine that a priest will run. Now, whether the priest will win, iba naman yun. As long as he sticks to the Constitution and separates church from state, I'm okay with the priest running. That's totally fine. But just don't break the Constitution pag nanalo ka. Kailangan mong i-separate yung mga beliefs mo kaysa sa affairs of the state.
Like what has happened before na may mga nag-govern na pare, no? You think they have been
effective? If I remember that about? Yung sa Pampanga, wala na siya, di ba?
pero may tumatakbong bago ngayon.
May tatakbo. Let's see
Yeah.
how long that person lasts. But this is all part of yung process ng democracy. And also, probably yung problema talaga ng multi-party system. You can just really have anybody running for anything. Imagine this. To run for an office, walang credential ang kailangan. But to work for that office bilang secretary ng kandidato yan, kailangan mo may credential siya. You need a college degree to work for that candidate. But that candidate does not need a college degree or does not need any achievements at all.
Even to be a president, you don't have to be a college graduate.
Or have any sort of achievement, right? So it is really talagang sino ang pinakapopular. And that is one of the flaws of the democracy that we have right now. Kailangan nating isipin talaga ang mga issues. And we have to think about what system works well, where we will talk about issues more.
What about, you think merong talagang tunay na church vote? The different, kasi iglesia lang.
Iglesia
What about
lang.
Catholic? What
Catholic
about
vote, nanalo si Noynoy.
Oo.
Nanalo si Noynoy, di ba? Obviously, pro-RH siya. He was the Catholic Church was very against this. Ngayon, leading yung mga liberal parties mga nananalo. And a lot of them, and the liberal parties is pro-RH. So, I mean, it just shows you that the Catholic Church, hindi naman wala ng power. Pero talagang nabawas. I mean, it is a shadow of what it once was. Maybe now the Catholic Church can influence sa mga local level, barangay captain, congressman, pero sa national level, bilang senator at saka bilang presidente, they have no more power.
What about itong, yung mga binoto mo, no? Bakit silang binoto mo? What priority bills should they handle or should they promote kapag sila nga yung nanalo?
Well, I have very few issues. I'd like to rethink, number one, the 60-40. Yung foreign direct investment, kailangang 60% ang may-aring Pilipino at 40% lang yung mga foreigner. Yung dahilan na talaga wala tayong trabaho dito. A foreigner cannot come here and open a manufacturing company without some Filipino going there and taking 60%. So yung 40-60, yung pagpalit ng parliamentary, RH, and then to rethink mining.
Okay, what about mining?
I'm against mining per se, but I'm just not quite sure if the Philippines is a country that can do mining well. Kami, kaya ng Australia, kaya mga ibang bansa na may teknolohiya. Okay, so maybe it's good for them. I don't think it's good for our nature.
But it's the foreign investors who are doing the big mining.
That's why now we have to rethink the 60-40, right?
Yes.
So maybe not the mining, but to get rid of the mining, you need more foreign direct investment. So let's loosen up tourism, loosen up medical, loosen up education, kahit media. You can't own a TV station here kung foreigner ka. So we're only dealing. But you see the other stations, pare-pareho lang sila, di ba?
Yes, yes.
Look at all the magazines, pare-pareho mga owner ng magazines. Summit owns practically everything, right?
Yes.
So, we need with the foreign direct investment, not only kasi kailangan natin ng trabaho at ng pera, pero kailangan talaga ng competition ang mga monopolio ng Pilipinas.
But now we are joined on the set by Dr. Melito Salazar Jr., President ng Management Association of the Philippines at isang kolumnista ng Manila Bulletin. Magandang hapon po.
Magandang hapon din, Nikki.
Of course, we still have Celdran
Yeah,
with us.
it's good to be with him.
Yes.
Good to be with you too, sir. There will always be the controversy.
Yes. Very interesting
Or the
person.
provocation.
We'll try to keep it down.
Okay, I would like to ask if you've voted already.
Oh yes,
Yes?
I can proudly show
Both of
it,
you,
and
both of you.
I'm very happy. It was smooth, less than 20 minutes for me.
Saan kayo bumoto?
Just close by, Barangay Kuliat, Kuliat High School.
So, hindi naman mahaba yung pila?
No, hindi.
Walang problema?
I came in at around 10:30, and I think the only problem was the entrance. Medyo may mga tao pa rin na nagbibigay ng sample ballots. So naka-clog yung entrance. No?
Ayun.
Pero pagpasok mo, nandun naman yung parish pastoral volunteers, nagtutulong, nagpapakita. Binigay ko sa kanilang presinto ko, sinabi kagad nila doon sa second floor. At pagdating doon, hindi ko na ginamit yung senior citizens ko eh. Kasi hindi naman mahabang
Hindi na
pila.
kayo pipila pag gano'n.
Pero wala namang pilang masyado.
At ang inyong binoto, napuno nyo ba yung
Hindi ko po.
Hindi napuno.
Para pabigyan ko ng mas malaking advantage yung mga iba na sa listahan ko.
Yung bang, kasi may mga surveys na lumabas na ito yung mga mananalo, meron ng parang mixed gesture of this and that. Pero sa palagay nyo, itong mga surveys ngayong taon, tatama na naman, target, to the point?
Well, depende ho yun. Well, very credible naman ang SWS at palagay ko naman yung mga surveys na lumalabas, time-bound po yun. Ibig sabihin, yun ang sentiment ng tao at that particular time. Hindi naman sabihin na hanggang election day, ganyan yun. Madami din mag-change siguro. No? So, nakakatulong ang survey. Gives us information. Kung meron kang kandidato na gusto mo, na medyo nandun sa 9 to 15, siguro mag-work hard ka, nabubutuhin mo talaga. Kung meron kang gusto magiging presidente sa 2016, hovering sa top 5, siguro i-push mo para mag-number 1 or 2. Yun lang ang palagay ko ang use ng mga surveys.
Pero ang ginamit niyong gabay sa pagpili ng mga binoto niyo ay base sa bilang isang
base sa
negosyante.
gusto po. Base sa gusto ko po. Alam po ninyo, sa Management Association of the Philippines, ang theme namin this year ay Inclusive Growth and Competitiveness with Integrity. So, ang pinili ko, sa palagay ko, makatulong sa ating bayan upang meron tayong inclusive growth. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang po yung tataas ang GDP natin, pagkatapos madami mga mamayan na mahirap pa rin. Ikalawa, competitiveness, kasi po buong ang bansa natin, naglalaban po tayo sa mga ibang bansa sa mundo, kailangan mas magaling tayo sa kanila at kailangan mag-cooperate tayo. Pero ang pinaka-importante po, yung last portion, yung integrity. Sabi nga ni Warren Buffett, yung isang industrialista, no, pag nagkuha siya daw ng tao, 3 qualities ang hinahanap niya. Una, integrity. Ikalawa, intelligence. Ikatlo, energy. Pero sabi niya, pag wala yung number 1, patayin ka ng number 2. Yan yung 2 and 3. Ibig sabihin, kung yung tao may intelligence, may energy, pero walang integrity, gamitin niya yung dalawa para pahirapan yung company niya o magnanakaw, kukunin niya yung pera ng company. So, integrity po ay importante para sa amin,
So, ilan
sa
yung
MEP.
naiboto yung may integrity sa palagay nyo?
Well, yung pinili ko na 8 palagay ko, confident ako, may
meron
integrity
tatlo,
sila.
intelligence, integrity, at energy.
Energy po, importante din po yun.
Okay. Kahit senior citizen, may energy yun, ha?
Senior citizen na rin po ako. Hindi naman natin masabi wala tayong energy.
Okay, alamin po muna natin yung lagay na panahon. Babalikan namin kay Dr. Salazar and Carlos Celdran. Alamin muna natin ang lagay na panahon. Puntahan natin si April Enerio. Wala pa. O maya-maya, alamin natin. Pero alam natin mag-uulan, kaya yung mga boboto, magdala kayo ng payong.
Okay. Correct ko lang po, hindi ako doktor. Yung anak kong doktor.
Okay. So hindi kayo doktor. Diba? Mukha naman kayong doktor.
Professor ako noon, nagtuturo ako sa UP. Ang akala kasi nila, pag nagtuturo ka sa UP, doktor ka agad.
Doktor ka na kaagad.
Hindi naman po.
Hindi pa. Okay. So sa palagay nyo, yung outcome ng election ngayon, will it be good for business and tourism?
Depende po sa outcome yon. Unang-unang, kailangan yung election ngayon, honest, clean, at credible. Kasi pag yan nakikita ng buong mundo, mga investors, gusto sila pumasok sa isang bansa na may stability. Hindi ho ba? Kasi yung nagkagulo tayo noong 2004, pag walang stability, anong nangyayari? Siyempre, yung whoever is in power, medyo unstable din, magkakagulo tayo. Ikalawa po, kailangan siguro ang lalabas ay yung mga political or elected officials natin na committed sila sa good governance. Kasi palagi namin sinasabi po sa MAP, good governance means good results. Ibig sabihin po, kung may honesty tayo, may transparency tayo, may accountability tayo, ang mga ibang investors ay papasok dito because they will trust us. No? Ang hirap kasi, sa bansa minsan, maski magaling yung tao, kung hindi honest, syempre, matatakot ka rin, baka mauubos ang pera natin dyan.
Mamaya, alamin natin kung anong sinasabi ng ating mga turista at mga foreigners patungkol sa ating mga kandidato at dito sa halalan natin. No, maya-maya, kasama pa rin natin si Carlos Celdran at si Mr. Melito Salazar ng Management Association of the Philippines. Welcome ulit. At kanina pinag-uusapan natin, no, ano yung sinasabi nitong ating mga turista, yung mga foreigners dito sa ating bansa, patungkol sa mga ating kandidato at itong ating halalan?
Well, I haven't talked to any tourists just yet, but I can see how this impacts tourism. Kailangan talaga, hindi naman kailangan malinis, pero kailangan matahimik. It has to be a very peaceful elections in order to keep our tourism gains going. One untoward incident of bombing, shooting on a large national, in a very visible spot could really set us back a long time. But on the longer run, what also is very important in this particular election is kung sino ang mananalo sa Manila. And I'm talking about not Metro Manila, pero sa Manila mismo.
It's between ERAP and
between ERAP and Lim, because a lot of people don't realize kahit Makati, kahit Ortigas Center ang financial centers ng capital, the world, the tourists and media will always define our capital through the Manila area. So that is the first place where you send tourists, that's the first place where you send journalists, that's the first place when you want to send anybody. And kung pareho yung kondisyon ngayon, if it's still in the same sort of deadbeat, dirty way that it is now, it is a reflection of the entire city as a whole. Because in Manila, it is the face of the Philippines. When you arrive on an airplane, you will be defined by what Manila, and I'm talking downtown Manila, hindi Makati. Makati can be as progressive as they want to be, but the world will not define us by Makati. Because Makati shows the world what the Philippines wants to be, but Manila area shows the world what the Philippines is. Okay? And so, whoever wins is very integral in changing the reputation of the Philippines.
Are you saying there should be a new leadership for it to
a new
change?
direction. I'm not but we definitely need a new direction. Because it's the same of two candidates. I can't say we need a new face because there's obviously no new face. I just hope whoever wins, they will find a new direction than where we are right now.
In Makati,
we have to be careful in Manila.
Yeah.
Because in Manila now, if you look at that area where the Mall of Asia is, and we're having Soler, and we're now having those three major casinos or resort world type all over. What you want to avoid is a situation where you have the development in that area, and then the rest of Manila is in poverty. Again, we go back to that classic adage, you cannot be an island of prosperity in a sea of poverty. And therefore, if we put in investments and the private sector is developing that area, it's going to draw the tourists in. You can't avoid but doing something for the rest of Manila. And I live in Manila. I mean, I have a place in Manila. I work in Manila. I'm with Manila Bulletin. I love that city. You know, my uncle was mayor of Manila, Arsenio Lacson. And he did a great job in Manila with honesty and good governance. And I think what we more is being able to change the face of Manila. And I agree with Mr. Celdran, let Manila be the face of the Philippines to the world. It can't just be Makati, because remember, Manila is also our cultural roots, you know. You have all of these things that define us distinctly from the rest of the world. And Manila, done properly, I almost talk like I'm going to run for mayor. I'm kidding.
What should be done? Because people, you know, a lot of people are saying that, yeah, a lot can be done for Manila, but why isn't it being done?
Well, the examples are there. You know, I remember Detroit. Detroit was a dying city. And then you had someone come in and brought in a team and came up with new zoning laws, incentives for certain areas, urban renewal. It can be done. It's just that you have to have people who think out of the box, people who are not content with the way things are, and people willing to take the risk. Because there will be political risk when you begin to bring changes in. But you've got to convince the people who are now living some areas that there is a better life for them, and it does not mean bringing them out of Manila. I think this is the problem. A lot of our urban development, what we try to do, the squatters are there, let's get rid of them, let's throw them somewhere. They're going to go back because this is also their place. So if you're
there's a
going
law
to
that allows them to come back.
If you're going to, if you're going to deal with the squatters, then deal in the areas where they are in. You can have houses for them. You can have livelihood for them. And you can integrate them into the development of the city. People just have to make that decision.
I think it's more of a, once again, it goes back to change the constitution, restructuring the entire order of the Philippines. Yung problema ng Manila, walang leader. You have 15 petty mayors, 15 petty presidents, okay? And nobody to keep them in control. Yung problema dati, the problem now is that yung MMDA kailangan maging elected post. Because once upon a time, yung head ng MMDA, si Imelda Marcos. You're not going to say anything against Imelda Marcos when President Marcos was president. She was like she was the number 2. So her position did not need to be elected. Pero ngayon, you have 15 mayors and yung MMDA na dating ng lahat to keep the vision together has now become the janitor of all 15 mayors.
Yes.
That's basically it.
And the traffic
so now
czar.
you have 15, but not even traffic, because the traffic can change the second the mayor changes on that state.
Yes.
Talaga, because he's not elected. So all the mayors say, why am I going to listen to Tolentino? He was not elected. Okay. And now that you have the biggest province in the Philippines, which has 16 million people, run by 16 mayors, of course it's going to be a mess. So what we need to do here is to really restructure things, that we have somebody to keep all the 17 mayors in
We need a
line.
governor.
We need a governor for Manila. The provinces that have less population have a governor and a mayor. We don't have a governor.
But you know, this means changing your mindset. Because to a large extent, all these political divisions were brought about by political realities and political designs rather than development paradigms. I mean, in development, you try to look at an area contiguous enough, big enough to be able to have the resources and the linkages, and that region can move forward. But because the way we look at it, we don't want people to fight each other. So, you know, you have one province, you cut it, it becomes a norte, a south, and before you cut it again. And it happens all. And so, I agree with Mr. Celdran.
I
What you
agree
have
with you. Oh my God.
are little petty, you know, we're back to the old ages.
As it is, you know, as it
Let's both
is,
run na nga. I'll be
the
your
mayors,
vice.
the mayors don't even want to follow the MMDA track
exactly.
regulation, the
Of
rules.
course.
They have their own, right?
Sila yung elected, so bakit...
Why will it change if we have a governor?
Well, I think it will change the government because now the mayor has another higher office to go for.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
my dream structure, alisin natin ang Senate. So that way the mayors don't have to run anymore for Senate. It's just a parliament. And then what the mayors of Manila can vote for higher for their ultimate goal will be the governor of all of Manila.
So
Okay,
if
well,
you're going to eliminate the Senate, then we better have a House of Lords.
I'd like to ask you, no, yung mga lalabas ngayon, no, yung mga mananalo na mga senador natin at mga local officials, whether or not binoto nyo, what are your expectations?
Well, first of all, they better do their jobs. Alam po ninyo, minsan na meron dyan naglagay ng pangalan nila na elected, then you just read in the papers, they haven't set foot in their municipality for a number of months and even years. No? So, unang-una. Ikalawa, and this is really almost a mantra with us already in the Management Association of the Philippines, we really want them to push good governance. No? Be accountable, show to the people exactly what the plans are, involve the people in the plan coming up with these plans, and when hard decisions have to be made, make those hard decisions, of course explaining why you have to make these hard decisions. But remember, as I always say, when you demand good governance, you must also practice good governance. So, it's not an easy thing.
Walk the talk.
Walk the talk. Pero ang sabi ko lang sa mga na-elected na siguro in the past, madami ng kasalanan, I'm willing to accept yung kasalanan nyo, basta huminto na kayo.
So you will forgive.
Start a new life.
Willing to forgive ka naman.
Pero ganyan naman.
Ikaw ba,
hindi
Carlos,
naman natin
willing to
sila
forgive ka rin?
Yeah, no, totally. Come on. I
Yeah?
mean, like, whatever. We're all dealing with the same animals, no? It's just whether mid-animal can work for you better or not. I agree with you completely. Just get the job done. I mean, if you're going to vote for an unsavory character, then you're getting rid of 95% of the candidates who are like running right now as you speak. It's just a matter of making these monsters do the job that will benefit us all. Because as we can see, sometimes the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Kahit mababait yung isa, if he's a good, nice leader, but yet does not have a work ethic, does not have a program, does not have a platform, but the same thing also. I agree. Figure out your job and get that job done.
Okay, so
Maybe may add ako doon.
Yeah, sure.
Siguro kailangan din malaman nila kung anong kaya nila at hindi kaya. Sapagkat kung nakikita nila hindi nila kaya, they should be humble enough to get the experts in and listen to them. Ang problema minsan sa mga ibang kilala ko na sa pwesto na, akala nila alam nila lahat. At you know, the way they push themselves forward, even if mag-suggest ako, no, I know that already. Yung mga ganyan na type, hindi pwede yun. Kasi hindi naman alam natin lahat sa itong mundo eh.
And
So,
nobody's perfect.
listen, right? Listen, accept good advice, and then go forward.
Okay, maraming salamat sa inyo. At good luck sa buong Pilipinas, sa ating lahat. This is
Good luck
mga
to us
mananalo.
all. May tomorrow be a brighter day.
Yes, so thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Mabuhay kayo.
Maraming salamat rin.
That was Mr. Melito Salazar ng Management Association of the Philippines at Carlos Celdran.